Hi everyone, I'm back with my first guest, Shona Bascon with Got You Covered. And I really appreciate you coming on the show today. First, I always like to start with tell me a little bit about yourself personally and then kind of how you got into the business.
Okay, so I'm married. My husband and I have been married for over 30 years, Dennis, and we run the business together. So I worked in corporate America for almost 30 years and said, oh, I do not want to do this anymore. And so I looked around for a business and we came up with this franchise, I've Got You Covered. And we are in the Galleria area, but we also go all around Houston with referrals. And of course, we've done business before, so I love working with your clients. And I do the designing and the selling, and my husband does the measuring and the installing and the back office. So yeah, we have fun working together.
It's a seamless process. It's really she makes it very easy. I've used her with several clients, and surprisingly, I think very cost efficient way that you work. Because I think people get overwhelmed with cost when it comes to blinds and stuff, and I think you've really mastered finding products that are reasonable, even though some of them are automated and things like that. You think, oh gosh, I'm going to spend 10 grand on automated shades and stuff, and it's like, well, not necessarily. There's different levels and stuff. Right. So tell us a little bit about your process and how you actually work with clients.
So what we do is we go to, if the client calls us first, then we'll kind of talk on the phone, see what they're looking for. Is it a new home? Is it a remodel? Are they just doing one room? And once we kind of figure that out, we'll set up a consultation. We'll go out to their home. We'll bring all the products. And then we will look in their house with the products and also discuss how are they going to use the rooms. Because a lot of people think, oh, I can't do motorization because it's expensive, but you don't need to get the whole house motorized, right? It's what rooms you're going to use the most and how are you going to use them, and then that kind of helps drive where you may need motorization. And then once we do that, then the customer orders. We get the order going, we keep them informed of where it is in the process, if it's in production, if it's being shipped, and then as soon as it comes in, we check everything out, and then we order the installation to be put in place, and then we follow up afterwards to see how things are going.
And sometimes you do the installation yourself, and sometimes we
use other installers. Right, yeah, it all depends. Different manufacturers, if it's Hunter Douglas, we usually use the Hunter Douglas installers, but not all the time. And it just depends on the job too. So if we have a really big job, we want to bring some other installers in to help with that. So
tell me a little bit about the different products that you have, or the different, I guess, coverings, solutions that you provide.
Well, we have different manufacturers, we have different products, and every manufacturer calls the same thing different. So we have Hunter Douglas, we have Alta, Graber, Horizons, just loads of different providers. And then the products we have are a lot of things that people don't even realize are out there because they haven't bought window treatments ever before, or they haven't bought them in like 20 years, right? So everybody knows mini blinds and everybody knows roller shades. Roller shades have been very updated. There's a lot of wonderful fabrics that you can get. And then there's shutters, of course, that most people know about. But there's banded shades, which are kind of hard to explain, but they're really cool. And then there are silhouettes, is what Hunter Douglas calls them. Other people call them shadings and different things, which are beautiful, that really help protect your flooring and your furniture with the sheer fabric that they have woven into the design. And that keeps your things from fading from the UV light. So all kinds of products that we can help people with. And of course there's cellular, which is the most popular product there is. A lot of people order that, and then it's followed by roller shades.
What's cellular?
Cellular is like honeycomb or duets. You've probably heard of the brand name, which is Hunter Douglas, which is a cellular shade, but they call them duets.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of like an accordion type looking.
Yeah, and they're hollow in the middle. They're really great for heat, to keep the heat out, or to keep your heat in during the winter so it doesn't escape out through your windows, because that's where most of your efficiency is lost, is in the windows. And so they're great for the summer heat. And you can do top down, bottom up, which means you can bring them down from the top, get the light in and the privacy, but no one can see, down here at the bottom, because those are still covered. So you get a lot more versatility with those type than you do with other ones.
Yeah, and I know, I mean, recently you came to one of my clients' houses in the city, and they're like kind of surrounded by all these houses, but they have these great trees in the background, which you wanted, someone to be able to see.
Yes.
You want to enjoy the trees, but you don't want all your neighbors that are right next to you to see in. So we did do the top down, bottom up thing. So for that kind of use, it's great as well. Just,
Exactly.
For inner city, but then even in the suburbs where you are a little bit, but you still want the privacy.
Yeah, because you may have a one-story house, and then the house behind you is 2 stories, and they can see right down from that second story into your house. So then you may want to raise it up a little, but you still get the sunlight in, but they can't see everything that's going on in the room, right? Yeah. So that's a lot nicer. Those are also cool for pets, because you can lower the bottom just a little bit, and the pets can look out of the bottom, and you can lower the top and you get sunlight. So it's fun from that perspective too.
And some of them don't even have strings and things like that. So for kids, and safety, and also just not pulling on them. And a lot of the times when I'm using them, it's for either a listing of a home or a new home, one or the other. But listing a home recently was the one that we were looking at and updating their coverings or window coverings, and it was kind of one of those things like the strings.
Yes, the strings break a lot, and that's why motorization is good in some of those instances, because the motorization isn't even up and down all the time. When different people use the products, that's what creates a lot of wear and tear on them, because some people just pull really hard and or push on them, and then other people are gentler. And if they don't know how to use them, then that causes damage too.
Well, how many people have tried to pull the string at home, and you just cannot get that shade to go down because the little thing's not clicking from back in the day. So it's funny, and that can be really annoying as well.
Yes.
I know I've dealt with that in several homes. Or, just people come in to see your home when you're showings and stuff, and they do it to see it, and all of a sudden, I'm getting a call from the other realtor, and they're saying, we broke your blinds, sorry. Right. But then the homeowner will be like, it's been broken forever, and no big deal, we just haven't ever fixed it. And I know that some of those things too that we've done, you can keep the same look, but you can do blackout shades in the bedrooms.
Right.
You can do, different things to the same product.
Right, so you can have the same fabric or product in each room, but one can be light filtering where you get the light through, and then the other one you can use in the bedrooms, which are room darkening. So you can have both of those, which makes it great, because if you're trying to have that cohesive look throughout the house, it's nice to be able to do that with the same product and the same fabric throughout the house.
So what are some of the most popular things that are out there? Is it?
Yeah, so most popular, of course, is motorization. People love that, and the cellular shades and the roller shades are most popular. The roller shades, I think, are becoming more popular because they're lighter, they're easier to use, they're getting to be bigger, so you can cover bigger windows, which all of the new houses are getting much bigger windows in, right? And so that was the problem of how do you cover these windows when you don't have products that are big enough. The roller shades have fabric that makes it, gives you the ability to cover those bigger windows. And they've come up with some great technology, so you can do them without cords, like you were saying, if you don't motorize them, where it's just a light rise, where you do it with your hand and it goes up and down very easy. It's not like when I was a kid and you'd pull those things, and if you let go, hit at the top of the
and then
window.
There's always some slack in it and stuff. It's hard to ever get it to be roll tight like it used to.
Right, yeah, so they've overcome all of that. And so I think now people are starting to look at rollers again, and they're like, oh, this is really cool, it works much better. And the fabric selection is just amazing that they have so many things. You can actually get some with actual fabric that you might put drapes, that you could make drapes out of, that you can actually make into a roller shade. So that's another cool aspect that a lot of people don't know about, but you can do that with
to combine them and kind of have it on the edges of, just to kind of make it look fancier or whatever you want.
Yeah, maybe you're in a bathroom and you really, you don't want to have drapes, but you really love this one fabric and it would look great in the bathroom. You can do that on a roller shade and put that in the bathroom and still have that look, right? Or you like a fabric, but it's like, oh, I don't think I can have all the being drapes in here. I'd rather have a solid color drape. Well, then you can put that pattern on the roller shade, and then you can put the solid panels on the side and make it look really nice.
Oh, that's cool. So it can kind of give the accent through just the roller shade itself, and then make everything else really basic and neutral.
Yes, right.
Like you said, the windows are so tall these
They
days.
are.
Some of these houses, which is
Yes.
great for us. We
Yes.
want the natural light, but at
Right.
the same time, it makes it difficult. Because if you go custom curtains and things like that, I
Right.
mean, wow, the cost that you can put into that is
Right. It can add up very
high.
quickly. It's very quickly. And so that's why a lot of times too, I work with people and I say, okay, like, what do you want? If you had anything, what do you want? And then, you don't have to do it all at once. So you can say, well, let's just do, maybe the living room, the dining room, and the bedrooms. And then I'll come back and do, the offices and maybe the study, do that later. Or let's just do the hard treatments, which are the roller shades, the shutters, the blinds, put those in, and then come back in a year and let's do side panels. So, we can do it in stages. You don't have to do it all at once. And that's one thing that people don't think about.
Yeah.
And they also don't think about it, in the buying process, right? So you're working with your people earlier to say, hey, you guys got to think about this in the budget. And when they're doing building, they can actually sometimes roll it in to the loan. Or if they're buying a house that they're going to be renovating, they can actually roll it into the loan. So we can, so we can help them with that too and get that started so they have that. And then when they move in, they've got everything they need. Because a lot of times people move in and then they're like, I don't have window coverings.
Yeah.
And we want to go to sleep tonight.
Are they really? The realtor didn't tell them anything, or the building and people?
No, but sometimes they don't mention it, or they give them a price on, the shades, which can be very expensive through the builder, and they're like, oh, we can't, we don't want to pay that much right now. And then they move in and, they don't realize because they haven't gone and done the research. They haven't gone and looked to see how much it is.
And I know that some of the people you've told me, like they've been back ordered or something where you can put in a temporary, like paper shade or something temporarily if they go through you.
Right, exactly.
They can provide a solution temporarily.
Right. So you have
until it comes in. So you have something, because that's really crazy when you go in your house and you have no window coverings. Everyone can see everything.
That's right.
Especially at night when your lights are on and you don't know who's outside because it's so dark.
Yeah.
So
that's And so so we do that. Well, we'll put those up for people, to give them privacy in those rooms. So because depending on what you order nowadays, it can take 30 to 40 days.
That was kind of my next question. It was going to be like, what is the lead time from when you go in and actually have the appointment to sending the contract, all that kind of stuff? What is
So it all depends on the product and the manufacturer. Some manufacturers are a little bit quicker than others. Drapes, soft treatments are going to take a little bit longer. They are usually taking about 3 months to do. 10 to 12 weeks to get those done from the time we order. And then they have to be shipped after that. And then once they're shipped, they get here and then we have to schedule the install. So that, takes a while. So, but some things will be here in 2 weeks, or 4 weeks. So it just depends on the product.
I think it still shocks me that, realtors don't tell their clients or something, because obviously we've worked together on a couple of new builds and stuff, and it's something early in the process. But I'm like, hey, you're going to need to think about this and this and this, and these are the stages, and I write it out for them and say, hey, by this date, we need to be talking about window coverings and things like that.
A lot of people don't do that with them.
Do a timeline. Well, that's really important. So if you're looking for that, I can definitely help you with that. And I definitely keep a tight timeline for my clients to make sure that they don't miss any dates or anything.
Right.
So, especially on new construction, because there's so many little things that can be missed. And, keeping an eye on it weekly and things like that.
That's right.
You mentioned that Gotcha is a franchise.
Yes,
so
we're a franchise.
Tell me a little bit about the franchise itself.
Yeah, so it's out of Denver. We have over 200 franchises across the U.S., and I am one in Houston. So I'm Galleria, Uptown area, but I can go anywhere in Houston with referrals and friends. But we also have one in Katy. We have one in Cypress. We have one in the Woodlands. We have one on the east side of town, which kind of goes up to Kingwood and Atascocita. We've got a brand new one in Clear Lake, and we've got a brand new one in Sugar Land. So,
wow.
And we all meet, like every other month and kind of talk and share information and help each other out and share stuff. So
I think that's what's great about being a part of a franchise, right? Because you have other people doing the same thing, and you can really feed off of each other.
Yes.
What do you enjoy about this business?
I love meeting people and like working with people like you and the customers and seeing their houses. I love going and see the houses because there's just so many different types of houses and so many different types of design and style, and it's just really cool to go see that and help with it and like see it in the beginning and then when we put the window treatments in and when it's done, because I just love seeing the finished product in there. You just get to see such a variety, and you get to work with
excitement on the clients,
yes,
like just kind of things that they didn't realize, and then once it does make such a huge impact, and people don't think about the window coverings, but I think the traditional nice thing that everyone would see was shutters. I mean, that's just, you're either doing faux blinds or you're doing plantation shutters. That's kind of what everyone thought, but there's a whole nother world out there, guys.
Is.
So definitely make sure you contact Shona if you're looking to update your window treatments, or if you're thinking about buying a house and it's being built and you need to kind of choose, at least give the opportunity for her to come out and show you what she has. I really appreciate you coming on the show today. What's the best way? I know they've been flashing your contact away, but what's the best way to get a hold of you?
They can just call me at 713-331-9427, and we'll talk and set something up for us to go out and do a consultation.
And that is her direct phone number, so that's also another thing. You're not calling a store and getting this number, and it's the next person you talk to at that number is a different person, so it's directly working with her and her husband, so that's a great thing. Thanks again for coming on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We'll be right back with our next guest.